Hello. It's my first post here. I've been reading for months and never thought I would post something. I'm 30 years old and my girlfriend is 29. We've been together for 6 years. The relationship is great. We go out during the week, doing different activities. She stays at my place almost every day, and we have regular intimacy. Everything seems fine. We rarely argue, and I can't even remember our last disagreement. On Tuesday, I finished work earlier than expected, and my boss let me leave. So I went to my girlfriend's workplace to pick her up, as I do every day. She finishes work at 6 p.m., and I arrived in front of the building around 5:30 p.m. Usually, I let her know when I'm leaving my work and when I arrive at her building by sending her a message. Since I finished work early, I decided not to send a message because I would arrive well before her usual departure time. I parked the car at a slight angle, and I could see the entrance somewhat from the side. Normally, I drive right up to the door and park very close for her to get in easily. Around 20 minutes to 6 p.m., I looked at the building's exit and saw her coming out with other people, men and women. She stopped at the usual spot where she waits for me, and some people said their goodbyes. She remained there with a guy, and I don't know who he is. I don't know why, as she has never given me any reason to suspect anything, but I decided to keep watching from inside the car. When they were alone, I noticed a lot of physical contact between them. They talked, laughed a lot, and she was touching him while laughing, lightly tapping his arm and chest. Then, after one of those laughs, he pulled her into a hug, and she hugged him back. He kissed her forehead and seemed to say goodbye. As he turned to walk away, she slapped his butt. My heart almost stopped at that moment. I immediately sent her a message saying that I was leaving my work and would be at her workplace in 10 minutes. She looked at her phone, put it away, and didn't reply to me. The guy didn't leave, he stayed there beside her, laughing. When he decided to leave again, I felt like he said something to her, and she smiled and gave him a firm squeeze on the butt. I was already trembling because of the first slap, and with the squeeze, which lasted quite a while, and she was laughing while doing it, I had an overwhelming urge to cry. A few nights before, we were lying in bed, discussing names for our future children, and now she's squeezing another guy's butt. I told her that I saw everything, that I was in the car the whole time. At first, she denied it, but then I described in detail what I saw. She started crying and apologizing. She said they're just friends and that other women do the same to him because he's got a nice butt. We were supposed to go to my house, but I left her at her place and went away. Since then, she has been sending me messages and calling, but I haven't responded to any of her attempts to contact me. I'm completely devastated. It feels like a piece of me has been torn away. Our mutual friends are telling me it was a small mistake, a foolish act, and they're pressuring me to forgive her and come back, saying she's really upset and having trouble sleeping. What do you advise me to do? Well then. On the Friday of the week I posted, I asked my girlfriend to have a conversation. She asked to start by explaining herself. Summing it up. 1. She repeated that it was a joke among coworkers and that she had no feelings for him. 2. She said she talked to her mother, who made her realize how serious what she did was. 3. She expressed deep remorse. 4. She cried a lot and asked for my forgiveness. I made it clear to her how I felt and that my trust in her no longer exists. At that point, she cried a lot and kept asking for forgiveness, begging for a second chance. I asked her what she had told our mutual friends, and she admitted that she told them what happened, but in a lighter way, which may have led those friends to believe that I was exaggerating. But she said she did it out of desperation, hoping they would convince me to come back to her. After that, she said I could ask whatever I wanted, talk to anyone from her workplace, and they would confirm that it was all a joke among them. I told her that she could have coordinated that with them over the course of a few days, and she said she hadn't and gave me her phone. I looked at her WhatsApp and saw that the conversation with some of her coworkers either had blank messages or the sequence of phrases clearly didn't match, as if something had been deleted. So, I thought about it and told her that it was evident that something had been deleted. I wasn't sure about it, but I spoke with confidence, and at that moment, she got a bit lost. I told her that I had a program on my computer that could recover conversations up to a month old and asked if we could go to my place to check it out. At that point, she became very nervous and ended up confessing that she had deleted the conversation with a friend and with the guy she squeezed, claiming that there was nothing wrong, but I could interpret it in the wrong way because I don't interact with them and don't understand inside jokes. It was here that I said that if she felt the need to delete something, it meant there was something wrong, and if I could interpret it wrong, it meant she knew she was saying something she shouldn't have. I don't know why, but I opened her Instagram to check the direct messages, something I hadn't thought about. I did it impulsively, and I saw that his conversation was the type that deletes when you exit the conversation. And only his conversation and the one with that coworker who also jokes around with the guy were like that. I simply turned the phone to her and showed her that. She started crying again and said that the conversation was like that because he had a more serious thing going on with another girl, not because of her. Obviously, I didn't believe her and told her that there was no way forward, emphasizing how she threw away 6 years of our relationship. We were close to her house, and I got up and went ahead. I gathered some things I had there and told everything I had talked about and seen to her mother, since she had told her mother everything. To my surprise, her mother apologized and said she felt very sorry because I had been a very good person to her daughter. At that moment, I confess it hit me hard. I started leaving, and my ex followed me to the gate, begging for forgiveness and a second chance. I didn't say anything and left. When I got home, I felt really bad. I cried, but I knew I had to move on. I blocked her on everything, as well as the friends, and that was the end. She tried calling me from a strange number, which I think is from her workplace, but I didn't answer. Thank you all very much. I'm still hurting, but it will pass. And what would you do? Leave your opinion in the comments and subscribe for more stories like this.